People ask me, can you do something on the outer boroughs like Bury and Rochdale? The trouble is they attract less interest and views than the city centre. So I've come up with a concept, combine outer and central areas into one travel vlog video moving north, south, east, west or diagonally across the conurbation, focusing on projects along the way, always via the city centre, making repeat visits to track projects, going by public transport, bike, via aerial views or on foot, with images new and old, maps, maybe a quiz, a varied and surprising mix, with a fast pace, thoughtful commentary. So that's the concept, let's get on our way. Hello and welcome and welcome to AidanEyewitness. I'm here at the East Lancashire Railway, one of my favourite attractions. You can really get a sense of the past here and how we used to travel. But we're not here to look at this, we're here to look into the future. Because this station, Haywood, on the East Lancashire Railway, lies within a new development zone that promises to bring new prosperity, job opportunities and industries to this part of the Greater Manchester conurbation. The name of the zone is Atom Valley, and as our train makes its way west towards Bury, when we look out the window we can imagine we're flying and looking down on the landscape. So why Atom? Why Valley? Well, Atom refers to Manchester's role in splitting the atom. Valley is a play on Silicon Valley, though this is the valley of the River Roch, which flows through Rochdale. It's a project of Andy Burnham, the Greater Manchester Mayor. If you look on the website, it states Atom Valley is a vast, dynamic and interconnected region blending innovative world-class businesses with groundbreaking research, and it's named as the UK's innovation cluster, unique in size and scale and opportunity. Well, that's the goal, but there's a long way to go yet. A cluster is a group of industries of a certain type located in the same place, and it's said that that promotes interaction between them, generating success. It's been done around the world. Atom Valley is located to the north of the M62 and to the east of the M66, between Bury and Rochdale. It's certainly a name that captures the imagination, but there is a long way to go to make the aspiration a reality. We'll see what happens. Now we've arrived in the town of Bury, famous for black puddings, and its world-famous market that's been voted the best market in the UK. It's famous and award-winning, but the market is changing. New structures are being built. Regeneration is in progress because the original market buildings from the early 70s needed to be replaced. The market hall has been closed and new buildings are going to be constructed. Still, the market continues as usual, and it's one of the biggest around. It even reminds me of markets in Asia, with lots of small passageways and endless stalls selling all kinds of goods. There's also the issue of RAAC, autoclaved aerated concrete, within the building structure. So there is strictly no access to the market hall because it's considered unsafe. But outside, Bury Market continues as normal. To the south of the site, next to the transport interchange, we can see the demolition area, and soon construction will begin on the new part of the market, which they say will be better integrated into the town centre and provide better facilities for traders and the public. The work is set for completion during 2026. I look forward to seeing it. We continue our journey by bus, taking the 135, one of the B network's high-frequency routes, operating every 10 minutes throughout the day. We're heading towards the city centre. We travel down through Prestwich, past Heaton Park.
This is the 135 service to Manchester. The next stop is Cocktail Lane.
Through Crumpsall and Cheetham Hill. But we're going to get off at the Museum of Transport because I want to continue the journey on one of their heritage buses. This weekend's event is Back to the Future, with buses from the 1980s to the 2000s. There's our bus, which dates from the mid-80s. The Museum of Transport Greater Manchester is one of the best transport museums in the UK, with an incredible number of buses, trams, trolleybuses and other vehicles, as well as all kinds of memorabilia from the 19th century up to the present. But that's not our main focus today. We're here to track current projects across the city. But using the vantage point of a bus from 40 years ago, well, that's an interesting idea. It would be great to ride in a time travel bus from today and look out the windows at Manchester 40 years into the future. We passed that big new development on Rochdale Road, Collyhurst Village. At the bottom of Rochdale Road there's the Baptist Chapel, which is set to be incorporated into a residential tower. That's still awaiting planning permission. The new Premier Inn Hotel is taking shape. We go down Miller Street, next to the CIS building and New Century Hall, with new Victoria apartments ahead, 4 Angel Square offices on the right. And it's time to get off for Victoria Station. But we're going to walk around to check the progress of Waterhouse Gardens, which I visited in August 2024. This is how it's progressing. The new building's now reaching higher and higher into the sky and covered more and more by brickwork, and these are real bricks, I was informed in the comments. As we make our way around the AO Arena, there's another development, One Victoria by One Heritage Group, located right next to the railway, great for train spotters. Though I'm more of a building spotter. Looking along Victoria Street, we can see part of the skyline. The Cathedral, number 1 Deansgate, the Deansgate Square Towers and the Beetham Tower. That's our train, the Trans-Pennine Express service from Glasgow to Manchester Airport. Over there in Salford, a new development is starting to appear. It's a residential project named Obsidian. I'll take a closer look in a future video.
For your safety and security, this train is fitted with CCTV. Please keep your belongings with you or in sight at all times. If you notice anything suspicious, please speak to a member of staff or text the British Transport Police on 61016. If you see it, say it and we'll sort it.
The train makes its way along the bridge towards Oxford Road, and we can see Vista River Garden as it's progressing. The first tower has topped out, the second is climbing skywards. A little further we have views over the Great Jackson Street skyscraper district. We're going to have a look at that area a little bit more closely in a moment. But now it's time for the skyscraper quiz. I think this is the first one I've done on AidanEyewitness, and I can do more, so let me know what you think in the comments. Number 1, it's located within an office development, but it's residential, not far from Oxford Road Station. Number 2, also next to Oxford Road Station, with its high-tech grey facade. Number 3, with that double layer of windows, very distinctive. They don't seem to do that on today's buildings. Number 4, its next door neighbour, more modern, plainer, and then next to it, number 5, with its diagonal elements, a smaller skyscraper that was delayed due to the 2008 property crash. Number 6, flat shares in the sky, a coal-living tower, recently completed. Number 7, with its slightly concave facades, quite recognisable. Number 8, a new element, with beveled edges and zigzag corners. Number 9, the taller sister to the previous tower. Number 10, another neighbour, with a V-shaped concave facade again. Number 11, the stepped outline of this tall building should be familiar to anybody passing along Chester Road. Number 12 reminds me of a certain building in Paris, but this is Manchester, and it recently topped out. And here's a supplementary question. Which 2 of these towers were not designed by Simpson Hough, and who were the architects? And as we're in the locality, let's check the progress along Great Jackson Street, and we'll take a closer look at this building, Contour. I've featured it before. You recognise it now? We will compare with my previous video, and we can see that it's reaching higher and higher. The distinctive green facade is fully visible with that zigzag line running up the corners. The other tower is at an earlier stage, but soon it will be reaching as high as the first one. These 2 will fill in the gap in this part of the Great Jackson Street skyscraper cluster. The next tower is one I missed previously. It's on a triangular site next to Chester Road on the western edge of the skyscraper district. This is the Student Tower by developers Fusion, with construction partners Domis and Mayo. It also has a stepped outline like the Elizabeth Tower. We do things differently, helping to create the new Manchester skyline. And the architects are Corstorphine and Wright. New kids on the Great Jackson Street block. They have offices all over the UK, including Manchester. Now it's time to look into the past of this area. I think it's very important to remember how it was. And as we look down Great Jackson Street, this old photograph from the Manchester Library's collection presents an astonishing scene. The year is 1927. Great Jackson Street actually followed a different path at that time. Today it curves around to the left and merges into City Road, but in the past it continued straight down into Hume and beyond. There we can see a Manchester tram and those distinctive sunshades over the shops, so characteristic of the time. Bakers and other shops, pubs, a once bustling working class city district that disappeared as part of the slum clearances from the 1930s onwards. And now we jump to 1963 and the corner of Chester Road and Great Jackson Street. We can see Barter Shoes. Park Wireless and a 61 bus, just like the ones in the Transport Museum, waiting in the queue at the traffic lights. And this is how it looks today. Virtually unrecognisable, a lost world, but we must never forget that it once existed here. Looking from the air, Hume was a maze of tiny streets. Down to the left is the gasworks, where Home Arts Centre is located today. Then, as now, the road forks. City Road goes off to the right. The main road, Medlock Street, goes to the left. That now leads to the Mancunian Way. Great Jackson Street is off to the right, heading towards the south, crossing Stretford Road. And today the Mancunian Way cuts across the entire scene. And that's why the street layout changed. The south of Great Jackson Street became Jackson Crescent, where the celebrated pub, the Grant's Arms, is located. I'd love to go back in a time machine and explore this area, but I wouldn't want to stay. Oh no, I like it today. 2025, the year my channel reached 10,000 subscribers. Well, hopefully. So here are the answers to the quiz. Number 1 is Affinity Living Circle Square, with offices on either side. Very convenient. Number 2, Artisan Heights, also known as 125 Wakefield Street, student accommodation next to Oxford Road and the River Medlock. Number 3 is, of course, the Beetham Hilton Tower, completed in 2007. Number 4, its neighbour, Viaducts 1, recently completed and soon to be joined by Viaducts 2 if it gets planning permission. I'm sure it will. Number 5, the Axis Tower overlooking Whitworth Street West. And we can see all three buildings in context, seen from the south on Medlock Street. Number 6 is the Acer Tower, a co-living tower full of clusters, room clusters that is. Number 7, Deansgate Square West Tower, 141 metres tall. Number 8, the first of the 2 contour towers, currently under construction, we saw it before. Number 9, Deansgate Square South Tower, 201 metres tall, the tallest in Greater Manchester, for now. Number 10, that's the Blade, that stands next to number 11, the Elizabeth Tower, and next to that is 360. Number 12, Vista River Gardens, Trinity Island Tower 1, which recently topped out. It stands on Regent Road, next to the River Irwell, and it reminds me of the Tour Montparnasse in Paris, where you can see this great view of the Eiffel Tower. Hint, hint, we need a viewing platform in Manchester. The original plans for this location included a viewing platform. 8 of these buildings are the work of Simpson Hough, but 2 aren't. Number 1, the tower in Circle Square, that was designed by Field and Clegg Bradley Studios. And number 5, the Axis Tower, was designed by architects 5+ and John Matthews. We continue our journey south on the Transpennine train through South Manchester on the Style line, and as we look west from the railway, something is missing. It's the Owens Park Tower, which has now been dismantled, but there is another large building visible. This is part of the Christie Hospital and Cancer Research Centre. It was built after fire damaged part of the buildings in April 2017. The airport is not far now as we cross the M60, then Gatley, Heel Green, and we have arrived. Manchester Airport is set for major change. New extensions have been built to Terminal 2, and there's been a big upgrade. And it won't be long before the original 1962 terminal is demolished and replaced with new facilities. That will be a sad day for me because that was the first modern building that caught my attention at the age of 4. And it got me into aviation as well. We'll look at plans for airside in a future video. But today we focus on landside, the area in front of the terminals. New hotels have appeared, including the Tribe. This footbridge has been constructed, but where does it lead? It leads to Airport City. That's the development that was planned, but like many flights, it was delayed. Now it has a new name, Mix Manchester, and it's got a new master plan. Dating back to 2012, Airport City was a £1 billion project with plans for 5 million square feet of offices. But times changed and now there's a new master plan. It will become Manchester's innovation gateway, a counterpart it seems to Atom Valley in the north. Located conveniently next to the airport and just a short distance from the universities and the city centre. It will add to existing facilities, hotels, offices, the transport interchange known as the station. I think the best designed hotel is the Radisson, with its control tower-like window at the top. That's where I would love to live, if only it were residential, with views over the apron and the aircraft. Now we take the 313 bus, and then it's a short walk to our final destination, the Aviation Viewing Park, another of my favourite attractions, with more transport heritage, aviation heritage this time. This is where the plane spotting livestream, Airliners Live, comes from. I highly recommend this YouTube channel. They've really put Manchester Airport on the world map. The viewing park is free to enter if you come on foot or by bike, which I often do. So I hope you enjoyed this cross-conurbation jaunt through past, present and future, on rail, on road and in the air, thanks to Google Earth Studio, with stops along the way to check out construction projects. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel and post a comment, respectful please, share with others, and if you'd like to support what I'm doing, please go to buymeacoffee.com/AidanEyewitness. And many thanks for the recent support. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und auf Wiedersehen in Greater Manchester.